Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and thank you all for 900 subs. We are on our way to 1,000. Appreciate everyone who subbed so far. Today I want to cover a move deck. Haven't really covered a move deck on this channel before. It's not my go-to archetype, and I haven't pulled any of the cool pull 3 move cards, but that's okay. I mean, this is a really solid deck archetype list in general. You can get a lot of wins with it. It can be a little bit tricky to pilot, so I want to kind of cover some of the intricacies of how to actually play this deck. And this is a pretty generic version of move. I think the spiciest card in here is probably America Chavez, and I'll explain why. And I have Miles Morales in here as well. Since I bought that battle pass, he's technically a pull 3 card, but the rest of this is pretty easy to obtain. So I'm going to go through the list and discuss what's going on. So obviously we're taking a lot of the generic, really solid move staples. So we've got Iron Fist, who will move a card, the next card you play, to the left. He's an on-reveal ability. We have Nightcrawler, who himself can move. We've got Craven, who will get extra power when things move to him, which is really sweet. We got Multiple Man, who will copy himself when he is moved. So he'll stay at the location he is and add a copy of himself to the other location. Really sweet. Cloak, which I think is probably the most interesting move card there is. It's a 2-drop 4 power. On reveal next turn, both players can move cards to this location. So there's a lot of mind games behind Cloak. So this is probably one of my favorite move cards in the game so far. We got Doctor Strange, who's an all-time favorite character. He's a 3/3. On reveal, move your highest power cards to this location. So all of the cards that are equal to the highest power, or if it's just one card, will move to him. Pretty powerful. Vulture, who is a 3-drop. When this card moves, he gets +5 power. I mean, absolutely crazy amounts of power can come from this guy. So you can move him with Doctor Strange, you can move him with Heimdall, etc. He can get really big. Hulkbuster is amazing. It merges with another card, adding its 4 power to that card. So the biggest play is you play Hulkbuster on top of Multiple Man, who will then be a 7. And then when you move Multiple Man, he'll make a 7 at the old location and a 7 at the new location, which is really good. Miles is from the Battle Pass a few months ago. He is a 5 power 4-drop, but he only costs 1 if a card moved less turns. You kind of have to think a turn or two ahead when you get into this situation, but he's really good because sometimes, like the situation I just said, you want to play Multiple Man on 3 and then Hulkbuster on 4. Well, if you can move something in that, like say move Nightcrawler during that helps a lot, because then on turn 4 you can also play Hulkbuster, but they also play a 1-cost Miles Morales Spider-Man. So that's a really good option. You just got to plan ahead a little bit. Then we got Vision. He can move each turn, which is pretty fun. He's just a 5-drop. He can shift around, helps you kind of figure out where you need to go. Heimdall is the go-to 6-drop. He essentially shifts your entire board to the left, kind of like the Bifrost location shifts your board to the right. He does it, but to the left. And then I'm playing America Chavez. So I think one of the main problems with the move deck in general is that Heimdall is very telegraphed. He can just easily be seen coming. You know, you have a bunch of things not in the left location, and then you're going to drop Heimdall. He himself will stay at the location that he's at, and everything else is going to shift to the left. So when I play against move decks, I normally just let them have the left location. That's fine. I figure they're going to move everything over there at some point. I'm just going to give them that left location, right? We know Heimdall does it. We know Iron Fist moves things to the left. That's fine. So I'm trying to play this deck a little bit unlike that and try to make it not as clear that that's what I'm going to do. So that I kind of play a little bit favored to the right to start, if I can, and then I will shift slightly to the left, because you want to be able to move to the left, but maybe just stop at the middle, or maybe actually play Cloak and go back to the right location. Or if I have to, and if they're truly giving me the left, that's fine. I can take it a little bit by, you know, putting a card or two over there. But the generic, just play Heimdall, everything shifts over, and you have a huge board to the left, is a little bit telegraphed. So the reason I'm playing America Chavez here is so I have another option. So they will kind of go and think, okay, Heimdall's coming on turn 6. How can I play around this? And then I don't actually play Heimdall, and I just play a 9-power unit that doesn't shift my entire board. That's kind of the trick that I have in here that I don't see a whole lot of people running with move decks, and I think is actually really good. I think it helps you at higher ranks kind of not really be as telegraphed as before. Now, again, this is a relatively simple move deck in general. I'm not using any of the super fancy cards. I don't have Human Torch or Dagger, so if you have those, feel free to slot them in for some of these earlier cards, try them out. But I would stick to mostly what I have here. I think Vision is a flex spot, and when I say that, I'm saying cards that I think could be changed without really altering the deck functionality fully. So I think Vision could definitely be changed. and I think Miles could definitely be changed. Other than that, you know, if you want to switch out Nightcrawler for Human Torch or something along those lines, that's totally fine. I'm going to try to get you guys some gameplay of this here and see if we can actually show exactly what I'm talking about being a little bit less telegraphed, but still showing some good move gameplay that, you know, the main point of a move deck is really being able to be flexible, being able to take any locations. And I think some people play it a little too telegraphed where they just want to grab the left location in the middle. So I'm going to try to show you how we can ideally not do that and be able to take any locations that we need to. So if you guys want to stick around for some gameplay, it'd be greatly appreciated. If not, thanks for checking the video out. Good luck with the deck. Leave a subscription for plenty more decks coming up. Leave a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Let's jump into some gameplay now. All right, we got Strange, Vision, and Vulture, and Iron Fist. So Icebox hit Vision, so it's going to be a 6-cost Vision, so we won't be playing him. We'll play Iron Fist turn 1. Probably should have saved him for turn 2 here and played him into Vulture. But we got really lucky and we got to play Multiple Man, which is great. So Multiple Man will punch himself this way with Iron Fist. But yeah, that was definitely a misplay. If you don't have a 2-drop, might want to save Iron Fist there. Alright, so we played Multiple Man here. That's great. We're then going to just drop Strange to pull the 8-cost, or the 8-power Multiple Man. To this location, he's not going to stay as 8 power because the location effect won't stay, but he'll still copy himself. So we'll have 3 Multiple Mans on the board, which is pretty good. He got a Vision from, or I'm sorry, a Vulture from his thing, which isn't the best card. To get, we'll go with, do want to be able to move things again, so we're going to go with Craven here and then Cloak there. So we'll get those cards right back in our hand as well. And we got an early retreat. So typically when I'm editing videos, making videos, I will take out like early retreats or real quick bosses, things like that. I'll probably leave this one in just because it kind of shows that Multiple Man can pop off and just make an opponent retreat really quick. I mean, for such cheap value, the curve of Iron Fist, Multiple Man, Doctor Strange can put your board state so far ahead. So if you do get that curve, I think it's a good lesson to have in here. That, yeah, that curve is crazy. Probably should have snapped on turn 2 myself to push that curve. We got Cloak, Craven, Vision, and Vulture. Not the worst starting hand. So we will pass and we'll try to play Craven next turn into Vulture. He's playing Sunspot on top of the sewer system. Alright, Luke's bar is slightly problematic. Can't play things there, but it's actually pretty good for us in general. Because we want to move things onto it. So the ability to move things into a location like this is actually one of the big benefits of move decks. So on turn 5, cards are going to cost 1 more, so we got to be careful of that. I'm going to go ahead and play Cloak into Iron Fist here. No, I'm not. I lied. I'm just going to play Vulture on the left, or on the right. And then we have some other options. So we played Iron Heart and got it bounced to his hand from Luke's bar. Kind of funny. So we got Vulture on the right, which sets us up pretty nicely. I'm actually going to play Multiple Man and Cloak, so I can move them both to this location. And then I'm going to try to use Doctor Strange to actually pull things back to the right. That is my plan, at least. So we're going to play Cloak here. I'm going to move both of my units to the cloaked location. Cards are going to cost 1 more. We do know that. So it hits my cards a little bit. I'm going to play Hulk. Well, I'm going to actually not play Hulkbuster. I'm going to move Vulture, and I'm going to move Multiple Man to this location, and then I'm going to play Doctor Strange here, which will pull Vulture back to this location. But in the meantime, it's going to buff Craven by a lot. So he's removing the abilities from the cards in my hand. One good thing about playing America Chavez is we don't really mind that all that much. So we're getting things pulled back. He's going to pull Vulture back after Multiple Man copied himself already and gave the nice buff to Craven, which is pretty good. Which gives us some pretty good flexibility here. Now, we can play America Chavez in one spot. We weren't able to capitalize just because of how things worked out. If we did have 1 extra mana, I would have actually played Iron Fist at this right location and booted Doctor Strange to the middle. But since we had the cards costing 1 more, wasn't able to do that. But it's still turn 6, and yeah, we got to retreat. So probably should have just played my cards instead of talking as much if I wanted to chase cubes, but trying to make videos. So I could have just played American Chavez at either one of these locations. It was going to be a toss-up on which one. Was probably going to play her on the left just to try to secure that. But he's probably worried about Heimdall because Heimdall could let me shift to this middle location. So if I played Heimdall on the left location, I could shift all my cards there. But he did leech, so maybe he just didn't have the actual power just to stop me playing a couple units that had good power. I'm not sure. Another option instead of Chavez was playing Vision at one location and Iron Fist at the other to try to separate my power a little bit and take either. So I had a couple decent options even with leech hitting. Pretty solid move shenanigans happening. You know, didn't see all the cards we needed, but we got Vulture up to 13. We got Multiple Man going. We got Craven up, so felt pretty good about that one. Let's see if we can get one more for the vid. Vulture, Multiple Man, Cloak, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Heimdall, Lamantis 1 has killed my deck, so we got to play with what we got. But we do have a decent curve anyway. We've got Vulture, Multiple Man, and Doctor Strange. Those curving into each other is actually really, really solid. So I'm going to attempt to just do that exact curve and end up with everything on the right or middle location. Sokovia has different ideas. So we got Lamentis and then Sokovia's Sokoviad. So that's pretty rough. Playing Cloak is going to actually screw up the ability to Doctor Strange Vulture, which is super annoying. So I'm going to pass. I'm going to play Doctor Strange finally, or I mean Vulture finally. We got Luke's Bar. Actually hilarious how much these locations are just trying to ruin this game here. Our whole deck got destroyed, a card from her hand got destroyed, and then Luke's Bar comes down. Alright, so Vulture got moved by Juggernaut, which boosts his power, which is hilarious. I'm going to play Spider-Man on the left and Doctor Strange on the right. So it is going to bounce Doctor Strange back to my hand, but it's going to move Vulture there first to make him a massive power, which will be pretty funny. And I don't have many cards to play anyway, so why not? Alright, he's got White Queen, so he knows he has a Heimdall, or he knows I have a Heimdall. He copied my Heimdall. So I'm going to play Doctor Strange on the left again, and then Cloak in the middle, doing a whole bunch of shenanigans here with movement. So Vulture's going to come back to the left location, have himself 18 power. Cloak's going in the middle, and Leech is killing Heimdall. So I just need to win the middle and the right location. That's all. So he's got 9, I got 8 and 8, so that's not enough. So I can't move Vulture. Vulture's too risky to move. So I can move the other 2. And again, Heimdall is now just an 8 power flat. So I am just going to go ahead and play Heimdall in the middle. If he plays Heimdall, though, anywhere, he can move it to the left. So I'm going to play Heimdall to the left side. So if he's trying to just definitely win the left location, he could play Heimdall anywhere and get everything there. But Heimdall and that is still enough. All right, so I was going to say, if he plays Heimdall there, he will be able to essentially move everything to the left and win the left higher than most likely I won the middle is my guess, but doesn't look like it. Looks like he went for the Doctor Doom play to get 5 on this side, but I moved just enough power over to the middle location to end it. So that's a really weird game, but you can see how many shenanigans you can actually pull off just with a limited hand, right? I only played these 5 cards, and I still got Vulture up to an 18. Granted, the first +5 was from my opponent's card. It's a really weird archetype in this game. It grows into pool 3. You have Human Torch, you got Dagger, or 2 other cards that can get added in to the stack. So if you have those, try them out. If you like move decks, enjoy them. They're 100% not my favorite, but they have a really good flexibility to them that I think if you can master, you can do really well with. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a subscription to the channel, and don't remember, or always remember, to keep on snapping.